Hi, these are the Art Philosophy watercolor paints in 15 milliliter tubes. You may be familiar with this company as Prima Marketing. Prima was known for their scrapbooking and card making supplies before focusing on half-pan sets aimed at students and crafters. They now produce a lot of art materials under the Art Philosophy name. These tubes are their professional quality artist grade paints with a higher pigment load compared to their pan sets. They perform just as well as other pro-grade paints, being the most similar to SHINHAN, Holbein, and Mission Gold brands. I'll elaborate on that by doing a comparison to SHINHAN watercolors later in the video. There are a few things you should know about these watercolors before deciding if they are right for you. They released 18 colors, but only 8 of them are reliably Lightfast. And this is part of the reason I didn't buy many colors. I'll show a color chart with pigment information. It's a bit info-packed, so feel free to pause if you'd like to take a closer look at the details of their full catalog. These paints definitely have a professional quality pigment load and have just as much color intensity as brands like Daniel Smith, Winsor & Newton, or Da Vinci. Unfortunately, unlike those other companies, Art Philosophy offers fewer Lightfast options. It is common for pro-grade paint companies to offer at least a couple of fugitive colors, though that can be confusing to people who assume that a professional artist-grade paints means Lightfast. After all, professional artists need to be confident in the permanence of their supplies to sell their work, right? Well, there's also demand from professionals who do illustrations for print reproductions or product packaging, who want the freedom to use artificially bright colors. This is why it's critically important for each tube to also have a clear and correct Lightfast rating. Sadly, these do not. The confusing nature of their non-standard Lightfast system and misleading ratings is my biggest complaint about this brand. Many companies throughout the USA and Europe use a standard ASTM 1 through 5 rating, which is written as the letter I through V in Roman numerals. LF1 written as the letter I being the most Lightfast, and LF5 written as V being the most fugitive. A star rating system is also common in other parts of the world, and is typically out of 3 to 5 stars total. The lower the stars, the more fugitive the paint. On these tubes, they wrote LF2, the number 2, not star symbols or Roman numerals, which will confuse those who think it means LFII, when in actuality it means 2 of 3 stars. Since the star symbols were not used, I had to do some digging on their website to verify that it is actually a 3-star system. I believe that if you're going to sell professional grade paints, you should make it clear which colors can be used in art to hang on a wall where Lightfast ratings truly matter. Several colors labeled as LF number 2 were misleading, with too much variance of stability. A notable example of this is ultramarine blue was marked as 2, while rose madder also was noted as 2. This does not seem right since ultramarine blue PB29 has superb Lightfastness. It's stable in direct sunlight for years, compared to rose madder made from PR83, alizarin crimson, which is fugitive. It fades when exposed to UV light within months. Aside from those issues, I really enjoyed these paints. The smooth consistency with no binder separation made setting up a travel palette really easy. Once dry, these paints re-wet quickly with a touch of a wet brush. The colors mixed well with an above-average ability to blend for smooth gradients. I chose these 4 colors because they offer a good range of mixing potential while being highly Lightfast. They work like a muted primary mixing set, like an earth tone version of red, yellow, and blue. These watercolors seem very similar to SHINHAN's professional grade paints. SHINHAN has a few different types of paints, so I'll put links to sites that carry this specific type in the description section below. While I cannot say that these are the same paints as Art Philosophy tubes, they are similar enough that if you're considering these, you might as well consider SHINHAN brand as well. It's possible that both were made with the same base ingredients that are easily obtained in Korea, where both brands are manufactured. SHINHAN offers a lot more colors in comparison and are generally easier to find on art supply websites that you may already shop with. Both brands offer a lot of fugitive pigments, with little regard for Lightfast rating accuracy and the occasional typo. The price per tube is similar, ranging from $6 to $12 depending on the pigment and sale. This is a bit lower than the average cost of professional quality paints, though it depends on where you live. In the USA, there are some affordable brands like Da Vinci and M. Graham that have colors in this price range as well. SHINHAN offers large sets that break down to as little as $3 a tube, so if you're looking for a lot of colors, a set might be a better option. Most importantly, I checked the way that these art philosophy tube paints perform compared to SHINHAN. There was a remarkable similarity in the color matches and pigment load, as demonstrated in the side-by-side mass tone versus diluted range of color. Like most watercolors made in Asia, they both lack flow. This low disperse rate makes it so that these colors stay right where you put them, though if you paint on an extremely wet surface, they can spread out slowly as they dry. In the limited selection I was able to test, Art Philosophy and SHINHAN paints were nearly identical. Since I was working with this limited palette, ideal for portraits and trees, I decided to draw a tree spirit based on a dryad from Greek mythology. As expected, all of the colors stayed exactly where I put them, with very little unexpected flow. Each color was incredibly easy to blend together and dried without any surprise textures. When layering, it was easy to make soft edges and build off of previous layers. Once dry, colors can be glazed on top of each other, and I would not hesitate to use them for just about any standard watercolor technique. It will be interesting to see if this brand expands its color selection in the future. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these or SHINHAN paints. Let me know in the comments below, and as always, I appreciate your feedback. If you'd like to see more, you can find all of my detailed swatch card images, results from my independent Lightfast testing, and other art supply reviews on my website. I'm currently building a huge pigment database where thousands of colors can be compared side by side with paint from other brands. Updates about this project, along with line art drawings and high-res color scans, are also available on Patreon. Thanks for watching.